Just hearing the word cancer tightens the chest, not because it's distant, but because it's already close. It's in our families, our friends. Sometimes it's in us. And while modern treatments are more advanced than ever, so is the danger. Cancer cases are climbing, quietly, rapidly. Have you stopped to ask why? Is it our food, our environment, or the pressure we live under that weakens us from the inside out? Cancer rarely screams, it whispers until it's everywhere. But here's what most never realize. Some foods don't just nourish, they defend, they rebuild, they activate the body's ability to fight back. In this video, you'll discover 6 powerful seeds, each one proven to shield the body from the very processes cancer needs to grow. One of them, especially the 6th, may be the most overlooked weapon in your kitchen. Let's begin. Seed number 1, macadamia seeds. Let's start with what looks like luxury, but hides one of the most potent anti-cancer tools nature ever designed. Macadamia seeds. You know them for their rich taste, that smooth, buttery texture. But what you don't see is the armor they carry for your cells. Inside these seeds is a rare fat profile, over 75% monounsaturated fat, the kind that shields your cells from chaos. This fat doesn't just feed you, it calms inflammation, it stabilizes cell membranes. It fortifies you against oxidative stress, the silent killer that mutates DNA and opens the door to cancer. But that's just the beginning. Inside one handful, about 10 to 12 macadamia nuts, is 1.5 milligrams of manganese. Not a flashy nutrient, but a critical one. Manganese activates your antioxidant defenses. It helps your body disarm free radicals. It protects your DNA from mutating under pressure. It keeps your inner systems clean, efficient, uncorrupted. And after age 50, this becomes even more important because your defenses slow down and the damage speeds up. But macadamias don't stop there. They also contain phytosterols, plant compounds proven to slow the growth of certain cancer cells, especially in breast and prostate tissue, 2 areas where risk increases with age. Just a small daily dose can make a difference. Not a bag, not a binge, just enough to fuel the quiet fight happening inside you every single day. So the question is, are you using macadamias like medicine? Here's how. Crush them into oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, toss them into salads, snack on them raw. No fanfare, no complexity, just precision. Their fat helps control hunger. Their flavor satisfies without guilt, and their chemistry strengthens your resistance. Macadamias aren't just a treat. They're tactical, they're protective. They're a quiet ally in your war against age and disease. This is what defense looks like, disguised as something delicious. Seed number 2, watermelon seeds. They show up in celebration, family gatherings, traditions passed down in silence, a bowl of red watermelon seeds passed from hand to hand. But what looks like nostalgia is actually a form of protection. These seeds, especially the rich red-hued kind, carry something rare, a quiet weapon against age, and a line of defense against cellular decay. Inside them lives a powerful antioxidant most people don't expect. Lycopene, not a supplement, not a synthetic, but a natural shield, one that guards your cells from the kind of oxidative stress that opens the door to cancer. Here's the shocking part. 100 grams of red watermelon seeds hold up to 75 milligrams of lycopene. That's almost 3 times more than a ripe tomato. 3 times more protection, hidden in a seed we've learned to ignore. But this goes deeper. These seeds are rich in linoleic acid, an omega-6 that doesn't inflame, it stabilizes. It reduces chronic internal fire and helps your immune system hold the line, especially as you age. Because after 50, your natural defenses start to thin, and that's when the silent damage starts to win. These seeds don't just feed, they fortify. Magnesium, zinc, vitamin E, 3 nutrients, 3 pillars, each one critical to repair, resilience, and cellular clarity. And yet, it's not just about biology, it's also about memory. These seeds carry something ancestral. You've seen them on holidays, at family tables, roasted, shared, remembered. That feeling matters because the foods connected to joy and legacy often carry the deepest healing. Here's how to use them like medicine. Don't buy them soaked in salt or preservatives. Choose natural. Soak them in warm water for a few hours, then dry toast them lightly. No oil, no chemicals, just enough to wake the flavor. Grind them. blend them, even use them to create a nutrient-rich milk that's easier to digest, especially for older systems. Stick to 15 to 20 grams daily, a small handful. More isn't better. Too much can bloat, but the right dose, it strengthens. Because this seed isn't just food, it's tradition, it's protection, it's power, right there in the palm of your hand. Seed number 3, millet. It doesn't flash, it doesn't trend, and most people walk past it in the grocery aisle without a second glance. But that's exactly what makes millet so dangerous. To disease, it's not loud, it's not exotic, but inside this small, pale grain is a kind of quiet power the modern world has forgotten. And the longer we ignore it, the more we pay the price. Because millet isn't just healthy, it's chemically intelligent, nutritionally fierce, and built to protect you in ways most so-called superfoods can't. In just 100 grams, millet delivers up to 120 milligrams of polyphenols, plant-based antioxidants that act like shields inside your body. They neutralize free radicals before they mutate your cells. They slow down the quiet corrosion that leads to cancer, and they keep your system clear, so nothing unwanted settles in. But that's not all. Millet also delivers 114 milligrams of magnesium per serving. That's the mineral most people are quietly deficient in, and without it, the blood thickens, the heart strains, the vessels tighten, the body becomes vulnerable to pressure. The kind of pressure that slowly cracks your defenses from the inside. Magnesium relaxes your blood vessels. It supports your heart. It fights silent inflammation before it becomes something worse. And for anyone over 50, millet is more than food, it's reinforcement. Because after a certain age, your cells don't regenerate as fast. Your immune system doesn't hit as hard. And what you eat either protects you or allows the damage to continue. But here's the beautiful part. Millet doesn't require perfection. Just 2 to 3 tablespoons a day, stirred into soup, mixed into porridge, used in place of rice or tossed into a grain bowl. Nothing complicated, just consistency. Because over time, those quiet spoonfuls begin to shift the equation. They strengthen the foundation. They give your body what it needs to hold the line against what's trying to break it down. So the next time you see millet, don't overlook it. It's not flashy. It doesn't beg for attention. But inside every bite is a kind of defense your body won't forget. Seed number 4, sesame seeds. They hide in plain sight, sprinkled over stir-fries, blended into sauces, baked into breads passed down through generations. But what looks like tradition, what tastes like culture, is something far more powerful than it appears. Because sesame seeds don't just enhance flavor, they defend life. Inside these tiny seeds are 2 rare compounds, sesamin and sesamol. Names you won't hear often, but their effect, unmistakable. These aren't just antioxidants, they're barriers. They block the development of cancer cells, especially in breast and colorectal tissue, 2 of the most vulnerable zones as the body crosses into its later decades. One study showed these compounds don't just slow cancer, they disrupt it at the cellular level, interrupting its pattern, dismantling its spread. And that's not all. Sesame seeds are mineral-rich weapons. In just 100 grams, they deliver 975 milligrams of calcium, more than a full glass of milk, 351 milligrams of magnesium for circulation, blood pressure, and deep muscular repair. These minerals aren't optional. They're foundational. They hold your bones. They steady your heart. They keep your nervous system from fraying under pressure. And after 50, they become mission critical. Here's the key. You don't need buckets of them. 10 to 20 grams a day, 1 to 2 tablespoons. That's enough to reinforce your structure. Crush them into oatmeal, stir them into smoothies, sprinkle them over roasted vegetables or blend them into tahini. But whatever you do, use them. Because these seeds weren't just made for taste, they were forged for survival. And if your body's going to face a world full of invisible threats, let it do so with something ancient in its corner. These aren't decorations, they're shields. They've protected for centuries, and they'll protect you if you let them. Seed number 5, almonds. Some things feel too simple to matter. A handful of almonds, tossed into a bowl, eaten without thought. But what if that handful wasn't just a snack, but a barrier between you and something far more dangerous? Almonds aren't loud. They don't market themselves with color or flair, but they protect silently. with a kind of depth modern medicine is still trying to imitate. Here's the truth. Almonds are one of nature's richest sources of vitamin E, 25 milligrams in just 100 grams. That's not just an antioxidant, that's a cellular bodyguard. It locates free radicals, those unstable sparks that destroy DNA, and puts them out before they ignite something worse. Cancer doesn't begin with pain, it begins with unchecked damage, and vitamin E is one of the few compounds capable of stopping it at the source. But almonds go further. They're packed with polyphenols and flavonoids, plant chemicals that don't just defend, they disrupt cancer cell growth in breast, colon, and prostate tissues. Like quiet soldiers at the gate, they block the pattern. They weaken the replication. They buy your body more time to fight back. And then there's magnesium, 200 to 70 milligrams per 100 grams. Magnesium is emotional armor. It regulates your nervous system, calms your stress response, strengthens your immune function, which is directly linked to your body's cancer resistance. Because chronic stress isn't just emotional, it weakens your cellular defense, and almonds repair that. But here's the question, how much is enough? 20 to 30 grams a day, a small handful. That's it. But don't just grab them and chew. Soak them first, 6 to 8 hours. It softens the shell, releases the blockages, unlocks the full nutrient power trapped beneath the skin. Soaked almonds are easier to digest, more absorbable, more efficient at delivering what your body desperately needs. This isn't about volume, it's about precision. Because almonds aren't a trend, they're a tool. And in the quiet war happening inside your body, they are one of the oldest, most effective weapons you can wield. Seed number 6, pumpkin seeds. You've probably thrown them out, scraped them into the trash while carving a pumpkin, or bought them by accident and never thought twice. But what you've been discarding could be one of the most powerful cancer-fighting foods in your kitchen. Pumpkin seeds, small, unassuming, but inside everyone is a blueprint for cellular defense. Start with zinc. 100 grams of pumpkin seeds contain around 7 milligrams, one of the highest natural concentrations in any whole food. Zinc doesn't shout, but it works silently in your immune system, rebuilding, repairing, fortifying every cell under pressure. And for men, zinc is mission critical. It protects the prostate, balances hormones, and shields tissues that are often the first to fall when the body's defenses weaken. This seed isn't about marketing, it's about maintenance. But zinc is just one part of the story. Pumpkin seeds also hold magnesium to regulate cell division and blood flow, manganese to activate antioxidant enzymes, vitamin E to guard your DNA from mutation and decay. These aren't vitamins, they're cellular soldiers, each one timed to neutralize oxidative stress before it mutates into something darker. And then there's phytosterols, plant-based compounds that interfere with abnormal cell growth, especially in breast and colon tissues. They don't just protect, they intervene. They disrupt the pathways cancer tries to build. And it takes almost nothing to benefit. 30 grams a day, just one handful. But here's where it matters. Don't eat them over-roasted. High heat destroys vitamin E, strips away the subtle enzymes that make them powerful. Keep them raw, or gently toast them, no more than 150 to 160 degrees Celsius for 8 to 10 minutes. Even better, pair them with vitamin C-rich foods like lemon or kiwi to unlock the iron absorption buried inside. And if digestion is slow or sensitive, grind them, blend them, make the nutrients effortless to extract. Use them in smoothies. Sprinkle them over salads. Blend them into homemade energy bars that fuel the body and guard it at the same time. Because pumpkin seeds don't just nourish, they intervene. They protect where most men grow vulnerable, and they strengthen where most foods only satisfy. So the next time you hold one in your hand, don't toss it, use it. Because this isn't just a snack, it's armor. You've seen what most never do, not supplements, not gimmicks, but real weapons, hidden in the quiet corners of your kitchen, seeds, small, ordinary, ignored, until now. Because now you know, these 6 aren't just food, they're fortress codes. They rebuild you from the inside out, cell by cell, system by system, silently and permanently. You're not just eating differently, you're choosing differently. And that shift, that's how the war's won. So ask yourself this, what's stopping you from starting today, not tomorrow, not next week? Now, because the body doesn't wait, The clock doesn't pause, and neither should you. If even one part of this message moved you, if your chest tightened, if your breath slowed, if your instincts whispered, "This is it," then do the one thing most won't. Use it, add one seed, shift one habit, and let that small act echo forward into every cell of your future. Because cancer moves quietly, but so can you. And if you want more truths like this, the kind that cut through noise, the kind that protect you before anything breaks, then subscribe to our channel right now. Because the next message might be the one that saves everything. Until next time, stay awake, stay armed, and above all, stay powerful.